And he was the minister then, and Abacha was presiding. I was there representing Labour. And there was something that happened that I said, but to be honest with you, I'm like, anybody working as a minister with General Abacha obviously was not a friend of Labour, because Abacha dissolved the Nigeria Labour Congress. And so we had that grudge against him. But when they talk of Nigeria vision, we said, whether we like it or not, these guys are ruling and their policies will affect workers either for good or for bad. So sometime in the real world, you want to do cost-benefit analysis. And so we accepted to participate. I believe two of us representing, then not NFC, it's organized labor. And there was this issue about PTF. And that was being chaired by General Buhari, as he then was retired. And Ikimi took General Abacha to his face. Your Excellency, this PTF is one-sided. It's doing more projects in one part of the country, as if the other part of the country doesn't matter. I come from where the oil money is coming from. That is the zone I come from. And the money they are spending is so-called increase in the price of petroleum product. And yet, his own community don't know that this fund exists. His own state, his own sub-region, they're not getting the presence of PTF compared to other places. So if the PTF sees itself in the manner it seems to see itself as a regional development agency, then it should be scrapped. I'm like, who is this man who can talk to head of state, Abacha? So bold, so frank, with other generals there. And of course, what makes it interesting to me is the fact that the part of the country he accused of benefiting more, whether he was right or wrong is a different matter, but those were his views, is where Abacha come from. The very man that made the minister, and who can decide tomorrow to drop him. So that courage to speak in the manner he did to General Abacha, yeah, I started to admire him for that. I like courageous people, not people who will grumble in private, or when they have the opportunity to talk to the person who is responsible for the actions that they are grumbling about, they start to praise. Meanwhile, they don't mean it. I found him blunt, to the point, with courage, and of course, he's very, very eloquent, you know, the way he speaks. So that was my first remarkable encounter. But as a Labour man, we thought that, this man, anybody who was working for Abacha wasn't our friend. That was our general Labour attitude. So, of course, most people will recall, whether you like it, you don't like it, how vocal he was as Foreign Affairs Minister. But I now we got closer when I decided to join politics and contest for the governorship of Edo State on the platform of the Labour Party. Because we registered the Labour Party while I was president of the NFC. We actually paid the fees for registration. And so I was the first person to attempt to contest election on the platform of the Labour Party. But then my tenure at the NSC ended on the 17th of February 2007, and the governorship election was April 14, 2007, barely 2 months. And I soon discovered that what it takes to establish party in every local government, in every ward, and so on and so forth, is a lot, what they refer to as structure. After the formality of joining the party, the first meeting we had was at his residence, where he hosted us and, discussed the whole processes, etc., etc. And so on day-to-day basis or every other day or every other week, we have cause to meet to strategize on our election strategies and planning, campaign, council, etc., etc. And he was the leader of the party. And all through when I got elected, we went through the prolonged judicial process, and God favored me with justice at the Court of Appeal and at the tribunal level. I was sworn in. And as a governor, he was still the leader of the party. One thing that day I found a bit strange, because everybody wants to become governor. They say the governor is the leader of the party. But in Edo State and in the ACN, we didn't run it that way. The leader of the party is always different from the governor, because the party is the mother, the governor is the baby. And the baby cannot lead the mother. However, this is a theory. The governor will have all his influence to do whatever he wants to do, but for whatever it is worth, the formal leadership of the party in the state is not the same thing as the governor. So I submitted to his authority as the leader of the party in the state. But the good thing is, we had debates, and they would call leadership meeting, across the 3 senatorial zone, and they will invite me with him presiding at his residence, and he will say, if I can imitate the way he talks, well, Mr. Governor, these are the leaders of the party, and we just want to know, we heard over the radio, newspapers, you want to do tax, want to reform taxation and so on. And you need to brief us. What is it all about? And how will it affect the popularity or the rating of the party? Anyway, I'm entitled to know. If I don't know about it, I can't defend it. And I will stand up and explain. And I think there was this 1 or 2 actions I took that, he was very serious about it, but I tried to downplay it. I was determined to return the state to the rule of law, not the rule of might. And so my first commitment was to clean up Benin City and expand the roads, create dual carriageway wherever possible to decongest traffic, and create sidewalks so that humans don't compete with vehicles on the road, and so on and so forth. So to secure this expansion of road, we needed to tamper with, enforce the right of way, which over the years have been abused. And so one of the very senior leaders of the party, in the course of reclaiming the right of way, his property was affected and his perimeter wall fence was demolished. And the guy was very angry and said, how could company do this sort of thing? And then he reported to Chief Ikimi as the leader. And Chief Ikimi called me and said, this is the report you just received. Why did you do that? I said, well, I made the decisions in principle. I told them, just enforce the right of way without minding whose ox is God, because government must be seen to be straight. Its action must be predictable. You don't bend when it affects Mr. C and twist when it affects Mr. D. It should go straight. That way, whether anybody is happy or not happy, I know I mean well and I'm not being discriminatory. The government, the law doesn't know big man, it doesn't know small man, ideally. That's why justice is supposed to be blind. But of course, I know that in this environment, there are people who think they should be above the law. But that's why you have government, to compel and enforce everybody to come under the law. So I told Chief, I said, well, if the guys in the Ministry of Land and Survey found that this particular property offends the right of way, they didn't need to come back to me. My instruction is any property that offends the right of way should be demolished. And they did. So, my leader, sir, this is not something I can help. I tell the big man that it is not, I'm not against him, but to deliver the greatest good to the greatest number, every leader must have the courage to step on toes. Otherwise, your time is running and you are busy trying to bend rules and so on. In the process, you lose credibility and you create doubt in the minds of the public. So he said, so you've done it? I said, it's done. There's nothing I can do about it. But I said, legally, under the law, we can compel him to pay for the cost. He said, I'm not joking, Adams. I said, yes, that is the law. But if you offend the right of way and erect an illegal structure, the cost of demolition should be borne by you. So we can post a bill to him. Say, no, come on. I'm not joking. However, within 2 weeks, fast forward, the people continue doing their job, and it's affected where Chief parked his vehicles. I think he liked collection of vehicles. He doesn't use them, but I think it's his hobby. People have their hobbies. Old vehicles, he likes to collect them. I don't know now, in his house in Abuja, he has one interested in a very nice Mercedes?
Rolls Royce.
Is it Rolls Royce now? Okay. But it should be more than 100 years old. Very old. You just park it there elegantly. You know, and you can see where Root Trust started to what it is today. So I think he liked collection of vehicles. And so this affected the right of way. In enforcing the right of way, the warehouse where he kept this was affected, and then the cars were exposed. And then he called me and said, Excellency, is it because I complained to you about someone, you now want to also teach me, do the same thing to me? I said, no, sir. What happened? Oh, it's where he kept his vehicles. So I said, I didn't know. I'll go and look. I went to look, and I saw a lot of old cars. So I came back to him and said, Chief, the thing is, like I told you, the law does not respect party leader. Government make decisions, and my party leader should help me to succeed. So by the time Edo people sees my party leader's property being affected, they know that I am not out for any favors. I need us to lead the people by example. You have to help me, and by application, help the party to wear a good face, by being seen to be fair and firm and just. Then jokingly I said, sir, some of those vehicles, I will go and take some more, because if you don't really need them. He said, no, I'm not joking. I said, sir, I'm not joking, no. I'll go and pick one or two. In any case, as of today, you can't take me to court because I have immunity. Say, I will steal the vehicle. I'm putting you on notice, I will steal some. And the good thing is that for now, even if I steal your vehicle, you can't go to police. If you go in vain. Say, now, don't trivialize this. I said, no, I'm not trivializing. You can't leave those vehicles. We sit down with there. You are changing their tires and so on and so forth. Anyway, in the end, I think he understood. And he has to go and adjust the property to conform with the right of way. So, which means that although he was the undisputed leader of the party in Edo State, and we hold a leadership meeting at his residence. That's a very beautiful house. Chief is, as an architect, I think he is an example. What should got you so you know that this is an architect house. There's something always unique in the way he designed, the way he did interior furnishing, the artwork, and everything. And just to relax him, I say, sir, I am entitled to the usual stuff that I take when I come to visit my leader. He said, what is that? I said, nice red wine, Opus 1 at least. I mentioned the one that I like, and maybe some marinated chicken, which you always have when we're here. I don't think this is part of the hazard of the office, but you supported me to contest. So you can't help me to acquire a driver's license and wonder why I'm driving the vehicle the way I'm doing. That is the way I choose to drive. So the license is not acquired for fun. So it will not deny me my right to be entertained by my leader. So be the Opus 1, sir. And the marinated chicken to wash it down. So anyway, he was now confused. He called me really to express his disappointment and anger, but I tried to downplay it and make him realize that, look, governance is full of hazard. People see the glamour, but sometimes there are huge challenges. And you have to have the courage to say, wait a minute, if one is wrong, it's wrong. Power doesn't make you right. So let me say he tolerated me as much as he could. And it's to his credit that we ran election in Edo twice as a governor. And my second term, I won it over 18. He was still the leader of the party. And he was also the one nominated by APC then. ACN. We had changed our name from AC to ACN, Action Congress of Nigeria, to give it a more national outlook. And then he was nominated by the leaders of ACN, Asiwaju, Tinubu, and His Excellency Bisi Ankande, to represent ACN in the merger committee. And he ended up chairing the merger committee that included ACN, ANPP, and CPC. And then a part of ABGA, that formed ACN in 2013 to 2014. He chaired the process, and as I said, the rest is history. However, the area I disagree with him was when he decided to leave the party. Adams, what am I doing here now? I have to leave. I said, where will you go? I'm going to go back to PDP. I said, you can't go back to PDP because this is a house you helped to form, to build. In the case of Edo, maybe I move into the master bedroom as the governor. But I don't own the house. I don't own the party.